Hello everybody, Pipeman 1861 here. Yeah, I'm down in the workshop. Got home from work. Kind of worn out, so I'm just gonna have kind of a relaxing time down here. I got my K Woody. Let's see, what shape number is this? K Woody shape 13 Dublin. It's a medium. I believe they say it's a medium or large Dublin. I can't remember. I got it full of old Toby. Got my catalytic lighter. Okay. Having some stormy weather here this afternoon. Got out of work and felt like I was in the tropics. It was extremely humid, kind of warm. I thought, man, we're going to have some thunderstorms, and sure enough, that time of year again. Tonight I'd like to talk about storing and cellaring tobacco. How I do it, anyway. And my way is nothing special. I feel like really the majority of everybody doesn't like the way I do it. Mostly because it wasn't my idea. But, like for example, I opened up that tin of Sutliff Red Virginia crumble cake a couple months ago, I think. And those vacuum sealed tins are great until you open them. You can never get them to seal completely around the top after you pop the seal on them. So, and also same with bulk tobacco. If I ever get a bulk blend like Old Toby from the Country Squire or anything, comes in a plastic bag. Those plastic bags make your tobacco dry out quite a bit, because you wouldn't think it would, but plastic is porous, and that's why you can smell the tobacco through the bag. It lets gases out, including water vapor. So that's a problem. And the only good, fairly inexpensive, and effective method that I've come across that works well for me is the mason jar method. You can get a case of wide mouth quart mason jars or pints or however big. That's the nice thing about cannon jars, you know. This I think is about a pint size. That's good for, the pint size I find is good for about 3 to 5 ounces of tobacco. You can stuff more in there, but it's kind of loose and fluffy in there. And this is a quart. I actually got a whole pound of Old Toby, Tom Bigby, in there. I had to pack it super hard. It was almost a crumble cake after I was done. Like 8 to well, let's just say 8 to 10 ounces of tobacco can fit very comfortably in a quart. And then they make half gallons. If you want a real big bunch of tobacco at once, they make half-gallon jars. They're not terribly expensive. You can go to Walmart, depending on the time of year, and get a case of, I believe they come in cases of 12. I believe a case of 12 quarts is somewhere around $10, $12. And they come with lids and rings and everything. Nice thing is you can write on the lids, put labels on the jars, whatever you want to do. And if you have a very small amount of tobacco, they make little jelly-sized mason jars. Don't think I have one handy, but they're about yay tall, yay big around. They're good for a couple ounces. And then they make real tiny little squatty ones to hold a little tiny bit of tobacco. So canning jars they're very versatile. You can get any kind you want, any size you want. I would suggest always get the wide mouth because it makes it much easier to get the tobacco in and, more importantly, to get it back out. I've never had tobacco dry out. I've never had any problem like that. Never had any of it mold. Other people have, but I never have. I have some tobacco I've kept in these things for 2 years, and I cannot tell any difference in moisture content. And for that reason, they are wonderful for aging tobaccos. If you get a like bulk Cornell Deal, Virginia, like Yorktown, for example. Canning mason jars help it to age very well, and the nice thing is they're clear, so you can kind of every once in a while pull it out and look at it and see if there's any mold issues occurring or anything else. So I like them better than I like them better than the tins that come in, to be honest with you. And immediately after I open up a tin, I generally transfer the tobacco directly into a mason jar, so I can be sure that it'll stay good. I do have a couple of those pop top cans. I have one that has the Lane Limited logo on it. I like pretty well. Keep my 1Q in it, but those tend to be considerably less airtight than mason jars. Really, you can't get much better than a mason jar. I'm sure there's some rocket, some space age material, plastic stuff that you could get, but give me a good old mason jar every day of the week. What I like to do is I get it, the tobacco packed in it, put the lid on, and then I always write on the top of the lid, just like you would if you're canning something. Write the name of the tobacco, who made it, and the date that it went into the jar. So it lets me keep track of that too. So that's my 2 cents on tobacco storage. And as far as where to put your jars, that's anybody's business. I have a little chest of drawers right here that I keep a lot of my jars in. Keep some of them up on shelves around the workshop here. It's not rocket science. You can store them any way you want as long as you store them in a climate-controlled environment that doesn't get a lot of sunlight. Down here is perfect for that. But just like a lot of things with this hobby, a lot of it comes down to personal preference. But that's what works for me. Well, anyway, folks, I better get off of here. This is Pipeman 1861 saying goodbye, good luck, may the good Lord take a liking to you. I'll see y'all again real soon. Bye, folks. Happy smoking.